Hi everyone, welcome to Making Math Make Sense. I am going to do another video related to the geometry regions, helping you all prepare for this exam coming up. And I am going to be going over a few topics related to rigid motions, specifically translating and reflecting triangles in a coordinate plane, which will kind of lead into the concept of carrying one polygon onto another in the coordinate plane. And we're also going to cover how to find the volume of a 3D shape. Okay, so with that said, thank you once again for joining in. Please grab a pencil and a paper, or a pen and a paper, a notebook, something to take notes with, right? Like taking notes is super important in any course, but specifically math. All right, so we're going to get right into the next question that came up on one of my exams that I gave my students. Triangle ABC and its image, triangle SIT, are graphed on a set of axes below. Which sequence of transformations will carry triangle ABC onto triangle SIT? Now, they have given questions like this, not in necessarily the format that I'm giving it in now, but they may give it as like 1, 2, 3, or 4, where it's just one particular answer choice. Here it's more than one. So please do one at a time. You should have a pencil on the regions, obviously. With bubble sheet, you have to do it in pencil. You should do something like this in pencil. Or any graph, you should do it in pencil. So with that said, let's get right into it. You need to know different things. So for instance, a reflection over the line x equals 0. If you forget on the regions what x equals 0 looks like, this is where this calculator comes into play. So you can literally go to graph, go to new. I don't want to save, add graphs. I'm going to change it to relation, menu, graph entry, relation. This is going to be x equals 0. If you type that in, it's going to be quick, so you got to pay attention, right? X equals 0, and you press enter. Notice that blue line. It may show up very quickly on your calculator. It's probably not going to stay like this unless you hover over the line. X equals 0 is the y-axis. If you did not know that, please make a note. So x equals 0 is the same as the y-axis. They may say y-axis. They may say x equals 0. Either way, you have to know or be able to interpret it. So if you reflect ABC over the y-axis, pardon me, and then translate it 5 units down and 4 units left. So let's actually do that one point at a time. So let's do C. If you reflect C over the y-axis, if you count 1, it's going to move over 1 to the left. It's like a mirror image. So this is going to be C prime. And then if you move that 5 units down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 units to the right. And I'm sorry, I don't think I counted 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 4 units to the left, pardon me. 1, 2, 3, 4. This happens to work out. And notice the order of the letters. A, B, C, S, I, T. T has to match up to C. B has to match up to I. And A has to match up to S. So let's do the same thing for A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have to go over 6 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is A prime. So if we do that for also B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. B is going to end up right here, B prime. And now we're going to translate A 5 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. It ends up at S, which is what we want. and then B has to match up to I. So if we do the translation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that works too. So number 1 works. All right. So as a result, we can eliminate 2, which is 2 only, because it's not 2 only. 1 is also the answer, and we could eliminate. Oh, so that's all we can eliminate right now. So now we have to check if you want to be strategic right now. Notice how 4 has 1, 2, and 3. So if we could eliminate 3, we're basically done in a sense, right? Because it says 2. Sorry, it says 1, 2, and 3. So if we eliminate 3, that would lead us to our answer. So let's go through that answer choice. So at this point, since we're looking at choice number 3, it's important to erase all your drawings for choice number 1 and then do choice number 3. So choice number 3 says a translation of 5 units down to 4 units to the right. So let's do that. I'm going to choose point A first. So if we choose A and we go 5 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where A prime is going to end up. And now I need to know if I reflect this point over the line y equals 0. Well, where's the line y equals 0? So y equals 0, if you type that in the graphing calculator, I'm going to go to menu, graph entry, relation, y equals 0. That's the red line. If you hover over it, that's this line, y equals 0. That's this. That's the x-axis, pardon me. So you need to know, if you didn't know that, please make a note of it. The y equals 0 line is the same as the x-axis. If you did not know that, make a note of it. And again, you don't have to put a lot of thought into it. If you don't have this calculator, you do have to memorize it. But if you do have the TI Inspire, just type it in, right? Type it in and let the calculator do the work or some of the work for you, because you have to do the heavy lifting. But as far as memorizing certain things, you don't have to if you have a calculator such as this. So with that said, right now we're at A prime. A prime is right here. If I reflect this over the x-axis, I'm not moving, right? Like it's going to stay in the same place because it's on the line of reflection. So this cannot be the answer. So this cannot be, because this is wrong. Right? So now this idea of only is super important. We know that 1 works. So we have to look at 2 now. We have to look at choice number 2 and make sure that works. And that shouldn't take you that long to do, but choice number 2 will work. We just have to kind of investigate it. So a translation of 5 units down and 8 units to the right. So let's do that. So a translation, let's do point A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So A is going to end up where S is. And then now if I reflect that over the line x equals 2, so x equals 2 is right here. And again, you could use the graphing calculator to help you. This is the line x equals 2. If I reflect this point, A prime basically, over that line, it's not going to go anywhere because it's on the line of reflection. And we want A to match up to to S. So that works. Now we have to do the same thing for B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 8 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to end up right here, B. And if I reflect this over this blue line, x equals 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 is going to end up where I is. And we want B to match up to I, so that works. Now we just have to check it for C. and it will work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many units is this point, which in this case is C prime, away from the line of reflection? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I go over 7 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it works. So 1 and 2 work, so that's why it's 1 and 2 only. All right, I hope that was helpful. We're gonna get into a short response question, which involves a hemisphere. So this is where knowing the formulas is super helpful. So you need to be able to know on the Regents what formulas you're going to be given. One of the formulas that you're going to be given explicitly is the formula for sphere. It's 4/3 pi r to the third power. You do not need to memorize this. So if it's 4/3 pi r to the third power, and they're asking or they're mentioning a hemispherical water tank, you need to know a hemisphere is half of a sphere. So you can literally do the work for sphere and then divide it by 2. So they said a hemispherical water tank has an inside diameter of 12. This means the R is 6. And if water has a weight of 62.4 pounds per cubic foot, whenever it says pounds per cubic foot like this, or whenever they're comparing weight and volume, how do we know it's volume? Cubic means or implies we're talking about volume. So they're comparing weight, which is pounds, and volume. When they do that, they're talking about density. All right. So they're asking for what is the weight. So thinking about density, we need to know this formula. Density is equal to mass over volume. One way to help memorize that is density is equal to a heart. All right. You should realize that the top letter is a M and the bottom letter is a V if we kind of split it. So what is the weight? So we're looking for mass. So we know the density. We need to find the volume. How do we find the volume? The volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r to the third power. So we need to substitute 6 for the volume. 6 for the radius. Once we get the volume, we're going to get an answer. We're going to plug that in to this V. And then in order to get M by itself, you need to know another version of this formula. D times V equals to M. How did that happen? Well, if I wanted to isolate the M, I have to multiply V on both sides. This cancels. And then I'm going to multiply by V over here. So D times V equals to M. So all you're doing is you're multiplying the volume. This is the volume. Forgive me. You're multiplying the volume, but you have to divide it by 2, right? So remember, this is for sphere. So you have to divide by 2 and you're going to get the volume. Once you get the volume, plug it into here and then multiply it by the density, which is 62.4. So the density is 62.4 times the volume, and you're going to get approximately 28,229. All right, and that is basically it. I hope that was clear. If it wasn't, or if you need me to revisit something, please communicate. But that is pretty much it, y'all. I hope this was helpful. We're going to get into the rest of these questions in a separate video, and we will go from there. Thank you guys for watching.